Welcome back to Montrose, Virginia for the Lake Marshall Open Round 2 League Card action. I'm Ian Anderson, joined by Connor O'Reilly.
What's going on, you guys? Excited to be back for round 2 at this beautiful track.
It is amazing, is it not?
Yeah, it's really a special piece of property. Like I said last round, it's a joy to be playing in a tournament out here, and I'm excited to see us hopefully be back here in the future on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
That would be amazing. Leading the pack, we got Luke Samson, Kevin Kiefer right behind him, Chris Dickerson, and Blake Poland also on the card. Should be a treat. Lap 2, see what they learned about the course round 1, see if you've got any changes in the game plan.
Yeah, typically we'll see slightly hotter scores day 2 than day 1, especially when we have pretty much identical conditions. But yeah, the wind was gusting a little bit today, so depending on what time you step up to throw, it could affect you more or less.
Yeah, a little cooler too.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking at hole 1, walk us through.
Hole 1, one of our first of many water carries on this track. It's a par 4, not too much distance, but like I said, you got to carry this water. You want to land somewhere on this hillside. Ideally, if you can get up top and be looking at the basket, that makes this hole a lot easier. Steep slope from the right to the left that you're going to have to navigate. Either land your backhand approach shot up to the right, let it slide down, or play that forehand in like you'll see a lot of players do.
We saw that a little bit of distance really is that big advantage in seeing the pin there for your second.
Yeah, it's a theme on these par 4s out here, so take notice of that.
Luke on the box.
And obviously that's a theme on any par 4, but particularly on this course, the way that it offers you visibility to be a little higher.
Yeah, the elevation really
plays
a huge part in that. Up next, Kevin Kiefer. Been having a great year on tour.
Kevin most likely throwing that adder there. I know he really likes that disc for forehand and backhand shots.
Nice. Up third, Chris Dickerson. Was throwing beautifully yesterday.
Yeah, Chris, like I said during commentary yesterday, was doing a lot of things good off the tee, throwing a variety of speeds and angles. He just was very uncharacteristic on the putting green, so looking for him to shape that up today and probably come out the gate swinging.
Blake Poland out of North Carolina.
Never seen Blake play or necessarily heard of him. Looks like he's got a bunch of local events on his tab this year, so excited to see his game and how he steps up and matches with some of the best in the game.
Yep. Not a bad drive. Here is his second.
Yeah, he might have been playing strategically to the bottom of the hill there just to not have to deal with the uphill run-up. I know a lot of players choose to do that if they don't feel that they can get to the top of the hill with a good drive.
Makes a ton of sense. Kiefer about halfway up the hill. Goes to that same forehand shot. Ooh.
Smooth release, but catches those last 2 trees that you kind of are aiming at to try to beat just off to the side there.
Somewhere in that 50-foot range, I want to say. Dickerson next with the second shots.
Going steep and touchy with a very overstable disc, and yeah, lands that one well.
And now Samson. Little Berg approach.
Yeah, probably going to see a good number of shots with the Berg or the yarn from Luke today. He's got a great forehand and used it to approach the basket beautifully there.
The Berg cult is stoked. They're going to see some Bergs fly today.
It's a unique and very effective disc.
Kevin Kiefer.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Kevin play, he definitely is a strong putter, and he likes to carry the confidence of that through the rest of his game. So when he's playing well, he's usually putting pretty good.
That was a great make on a sketchy green.
Yeah.
Dickerson coming uphill to match that birdie. We're looking at a star frame here.
Yeah, hole 1, not the easiest hole. It's definitely one that you're going to have to throw a good drive to have access to, but for any player on the lead card, you definitely count on giving yourself at minimum a putt from circle's edge.
Let's see if Blake can do his part. Putting for 3.
I'm going to guess this is probably, obviously, Blake's first time playing on the Disc Golf Pro Tour on the cameras, so maybe a little extra nerves for him. I don't know how much he's played on the cameras. As you can see, a little bit of a stumble there. He might be trying to get out there quick, get away with his birdie, and, get the round going, get loose.
At your first hole on camera is a birdie? That's a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that. Luke does his part in that star frame for our league card, and they are off to hole 2. We'll get your slow-mo. Kevin, oh, yeah. Look at this make.
Kevin with the cutoff hoodie showing kind of the little weather temps. You don't know if it's hot or cold, and you're kind of somewhere in the middle.
It's like the mullet of sweatshirts.
Indeed.
Look at it too, Connor. What are we doing here?
This one's our first look at one of the more technical holes on the course. It's going to be one of the tightest, if not the tightest, gaps. Plays significantly uphill, making this one play a little more around the 300-foot range power-wise, and we've been playing into a bit of a headwind, so most players are going to go with a straight mid-range or maybe a putter for the more powerful players.
What were you throwing off the tee here?
I was going with my fuse here off the tee, just trying to put a touch of hyzer on it and let it drift to the right a little bit.
Luke. Oh,
Looks like
boy.
maybe a cax out of Luke.
Yes, it was.
They're straight to slightly overstable mid-range.
You
Yeah, that's a
called
good
it, yep.
line. Kevin putting it up high, maybe going with one of those putters, trying to give it the height. And yeah, he drifts through that left side.
Perfectly pin high.
Yeah, you hit that initial half of the gap here. You kind of did your job. A little bit of drift right. You can pure it, but if not, usually you'll have some kind of look.
Looks like Dickerson's going putter. Little underturn and pays the price.
Yeah, he's going to have a circle 2 look, and he was a little slow from there yesterday, so let's see if he can start the round off on a fiery note.
Poland.
Oh, that one's pretty understable. He started on the
Okay.
left with some trust and flipped up, and yeah, that was well played.
2 for 2 start on camera. How about that?
Oh, Chris looking kind of dialed with that little 80-foot chipper.
That was a nice little bid there. Kiefer makes that birdie putt. 2 for 2 start for him. Dickerson coming back for par.
Yeah, that means Blake and Luke are pretty much guaranteed birdies at this point, and good start here from our lead card.
Yeah, 7 out of 8 birdies through 2 holes. Luke to do his part.
Good look from the big fellow there.
Blake drops in his beautiful drive. And they are off to hole 3, going back down the hill. Get a look at Blake's form here. What do you think?
Looks like he kind of pulls the disc back on a slightly different angle than he throws it on. Maybe kind of one of the little quirks of his throw, but his release was just what he needed, and he parked that one.
Flying 3, Connor.
Here we are on a pretty unique par 4. This one's going to play down into a valley off the tee. You have a little bit of a gap to get through, and then it's going to be out of bounds by that road on the right as well as up on the hill to the left. But really, there's a lot of room to work with here. You can really let it go and try to get way down there. You got an uphill approach, trying to beat the right side of this little fence gap, and the basket's tucked with a couple trees surrounding it, about 60 feet past that fence.
Luke grabbing a wraith, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, so the Castoplast guys are able to bag a couple extra discs, I think up to 3 maybe molds, to fill in their not quite complete lineup, but I know they're getting a lot of good discs every day, so pretty soon they'll probably have to play with a full bag of those Castoplast discs.
Looks like Luke's going to grab a snack on the way to grab that wraith back. Unfortunately out of bounds over there. Kiefer in the fairway safely.
Yeah, Kevin playing a little more of a stable kind of force over, keeping it low, and a lot less guesswork there than trying to get the big distance.
Poland.
Plus, this is one of those holes that it kind of baits you into wanting to get big distance, but really it kind of comes if you just throw a pretty conservative shot. It'll just go with the downhill nature.
And you don't need anything huge for that. You know, the second shot's going to be mid 300s as well.
Exactly.
Dickerson.
Yeah, as you can see, Chris kind of pacing down at a 64 mile per hour release. We've seen him hit 74 a couple times during the coverage this weekend, so he's showing that he's not playing that one as aggressive.
Luke, still a chance to save par, 321 to the pin.
Putting this one high. There's a lot of uphill in this approach, so you definitely have to get it up high, otherwise you're not going to have a chance. And he puts that one right on the base of the pin. That was an amazing shot.
Almost got the birdie.
Yeah.
Looking at Blake Poland, throwing 2.
This one looks good.
I think he caught something just over the hill.
Yeah, just caught that group of trees on the inside.
Out in circle 2. Here's Kevin Kiefer. A little shallow, maybe? Yeah.
Oh, when he catches the fence and gets rejected down there, it's not going to have too much trouble getting up and down for par, but pretty much no birdie looks over there without making a trick shot.
And Dickerson, just 270 left. Bump and run?
Yeah, checks up short and going to give himself a nice tester range putt, one that'll get that confidence going if he can knock it down.
Kiefer throwing 3. Not what he wanted there. That's going to still a little meat on that bone.
Yeah, there's some really obstructed looks over there. I was there round 1, and you kind of, like I said, it's almost a trick shot to even have a chance at making a putt.
Blake just laid up for par smartly. Here's Kiefer to save.
Oh, he liked it out of his hand. He thought it was in, and these Prodigy baskets really make you bring it into the center if you really want to make sure you stick it right, or for a right-hand player, maybe that low left pocket.
Chris saw that yesterday, did he not?
Yep.
Oh, dead center.
There he is.
From
a little
Dickerson.
high, but, he committed and made the adjustment. Really got to keep it in the center stripe on these baskets, like I said.
Luke coming back to save par after the out-of-bounds drive.
Luke recently got a new sunshade sponsor, so he's been rocking those new sunglasses all year. And they have a little strap, so they don't have the typical kind of arms on them. So he just keeps them on the head, even in the shade.
Yeah?
Cool guy.
The sun never sets on cool.
Oh, yeah.
There was a par drop in from Blake. That is a bogey drop in from Kiefer after the basket rejected that solid par attempt.
Yeah, tough bogey from Kevin. He feels like he didn't make too much of a mistake on that second shot. Just kind of an unfortunate roll and kind of how it can go with a missed putt in circle 1.
Anybody making any kind of runs? Looks like Joel Freeman, the best of the class. That's not on the lead card there. A quick break. I'll be back in just a few.
Air Spectrum is Prodigy's new line of premium lightweight discs in the mid-range, fairway, and distance driver models. Air Spectrum discs are engineered for the same shot performance of their heavier counterparts with enhanced glide. You can now get beautiful bursts of color no matter your preferred weight. Air Spectrum, bag one today at prodigydisc.com.
There's a lot of different facets to being a professional disc golfer. It's not just going out there Friday through Sunday and playing, majors and DGPT events. It's social media, going to signings, doing clinics, doing YouTube channels. So there's so many different facets to being Ricky Wysocki than there used to be.
Welcome back to the action. We are looking at hole 4. Macy Vela Diaz ace earlier in the day.
Yeah, a little spoiler alert. She got one of those kind of dream aces where, this gap is it's a beautiful gap to hit, and it's a beautiful hole playing downhill. And it's one of those shots where you're probably throwing a straight disc, so it's just going to be sitting in those chains for a while before you hit it.
What'd you go with here?
I'm going with my Delaware commemorative Faith here. It's one of mine that I have kind of beat into a little bit straighter, so just a little touch of hyzer on a straight to overstable putter and just let it kind of pop up down the hill.
Dickerson. Looks like he's going putter as well. Lovely pace on this one.
Yeah, he lands that one circle's edge short, and that's the money spot on this hole.
Let's see what Luke's going with here. He's going with the Recco.
Oh, just hangs it a bit wide there, and he should have a pretty reasonable scramble for par there.
Agreed. Poland. Stays clean. It might
Pulls it
play.
flat, but he's playing a pretty overstable putter, looks like, and puts it deep, which I feel like you don't see happen a ton here. Most guys are playing a pretty soft shot.
True. Kiefer. Ooh. Hold that.
Looks like that same disc he threw on hole 2, and he's throwing that one well.
Really nice. Back on the fairway, we've got Samson grabbing one of his bergs.
Yeah, this one's going to be that baseline plastic variety, so he's going to be looking to put this one up in the air and just let it coast over and hold on that angle the way the berg does.
A really interesting disc if you've never thrown one. Give it a try.
Yeah, it's going to be in that casual ditch, but very makeable.
Poland coming back for birdie. Right on circle's edge.
Blake showing that You might not have heard of him, but he's been studying, he's been working, and he's here to play.
1,000 rated for a reason. Solid. See what Luke does with the casual Oh, this is an advanced play.
Okay.
Have you seen this before?
I have not seen... I have seen it happen in muddy conditions, but I haven't seen this on a casual stream situation. That's getting crafty by Luke Samson. I really like it.
Giving up the towel to save the shoe. Oh, and it pays off.
And he jams it. There you go, Luke.
That play.
Yeah, I had to stand in there for my comeback par, and I could feel the water just seeping into my shoe. I had to kind of go a little quicker than I'd like to.
Never fun, especially early in the round.
Yeah.
Not trying to get soggy the entire day. Here's Kiefer coming back for birdie. Or pushing this drive just a little bit long.
Yeah, Kevin hit a crisp angle there. You could tell his timing was just perfect.
Dickerson. Pace on this one. Beautiful. Drops in the birdie here. Revenge on the basket for yesterday.
Yep. Chris had a couple unfortunate slide-throughs almost yesterday, but he's looking to correct on all those today.
Oh, look at Kiefer just piping this one right down the middle. Beautiful hyzer flip.
I'm guessing maybe a Warden from Kevin there. That's kind of what that looks like to me.
Love that. It's about how Macy threw it. Hers was a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Look at it, 5.
Here we have one of the more picturesque par 3s on the course. We've got a crossbar as well as a lower bar that you got to beat height-wise off the tee, shaping up that gap. Flying over the out-of-bounds culvert, you're going to want to throw a disc, most likely for a right-handed player on a forehand. That's never really going to mess with the left side and have a little gentle fade to the right. Chris getting a little more technical, going with that backhand, which switching it up from yesterday. He played the forehand yesterday.
He's so good on both sides. Interesting. Always interesting to see what he chooses.
Wow, he just jams it underneath the stanchion. That is so well thrown. It's one that, like I said, the backhand is harder here because of the low ceiling you have with that cross branch, but he threw it with a really good pace, threw it pretty hard for a 285-foot downhill par 3.
Pulling, hanging out a little far left, but landing in bounds. He'll have a long look at birdie somewhere out edge of circle 2. Kiefer.
Kevin reaching on this same pink putter. Let's see if he can make it 3 for 3.
Oh.
Yeah, there's that crossbar I mentioned that makes it really hard to throw the backhand on this hole.
Yeah, but just held on to that one a little too long. Luke, he's going to the yarn. What's that one?
The yarn is going to be the kind of overstable complement to the Berg. It's going to be more comparable to your zone or your harp type of disc.
Look at the dig on that.
Yeah, the grass out here is pretty thick in most spots, so there isn't a ton of skips, especially on a green like this when you're coming kind of down at it.
Gotcha. Decent approach there from Kiefer. He'll have a chance to save par. As Brian Geis walks across the fairway up there. Shooting some awesome slow-mo out there for you. It is inbounds. Here we have a long look at birdie for Poland. Drop in.
Chris trying to wedge his disc out
That's
from
a
underneath.
wedge job.
Oh, man. What a gentleman. He pushes the dirt back underneath it, too. Make sure it can stay level.
Nice. There is a good par save from Kevin Kiefer after that errant drive. Swing it over to Luke with a birdie look.
Yeah, Luke puts this one in the ideal spot. Didn't really mess with that left side. Put enough hyzer on it to where once he got through the gap, he was for sure going to be putting at it from that right side.
Holding on to that one-stroke lead over Dickerson. Poland coming back. This for 3.
Blake fortunate to stay in bounds off that drive and capitalizes there with a little bit at birdie and clean up for par.
Good look at Luke's forehand here.
Yeah, Luke's really a true two-way player, can throw forehand and backhand really well, and if you haven't seen it, he's even got a pretty good left-hand backhand. You'll see him warming up with it a lot, and he's even said he's busted it out about 15 times in tournament so far this year.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Hole 6. What a bear this one is.
Here we are on one of the iconic ones on the course. This one played as the hardest hole yesterday. Played a little easier today. I think there was a few less of those huge numbers, but straight across water carries about 425, and then from there, you're looking to get somewhere up on top of this hill to have a chance at birdie. Anything short of that's going to be really hard to get yourself a look at birdie. OB line on the right comes in real quick. In the left, it's tucked off in the trees a little bit. You got one last stand of guardian trees coming into the basket. There's a pretty clean lane on the right side, but if you're coming through that left side, you're kind of just hitting your angle and hoping to get through.
Chris Dickerson has the box, and he threw it just a bomb yesterday.
Yeah, it's a great wind setup for this hole right now. It's tailwind slightly off the right shoulder at times, and once you hit the right angle out of your hand, that second part of the flight just keeps cruising. 75. Chris is really showing how hard he can truly throw. And to do that with control is just impressive.
He has elite speed on the forehand side as well, too.
Yeah, he does. He's been really leaning on that backhand, but he's got the full set of tools.
Samson.
Going with that Wraith again, looking for that big distance. And
69, no slouch.
yeah, he shows that, you know what, I'm not going to tell the disc that it's its fault. I missed the angle, and I'm going to come and I'm going to redeem myself.
I like that. Poland.
For all you out there blaming your disc, don't do it. Yeah, it might not be the right disc, but you chose it, and if it doesn't work for that slot, use it for another, but
There you go.
you throw bad shots, the disc don't.
That's a well-thrown shot from Blake. Across the pond safely. Kiefer hopes to join the gang.
Going with one of those orbit rives, and he's looking to get a lot of distance out of. It's pretty understable, you can tell, and he's not happy with himself.
Now throws 3 from the...
Yeah, he's beefing up to that adder that I told you he likes, and 70 is a pretty fast shot, and he gets fortunate off of the rocks there.
That was a nice reaction. Love to see that.
Wow, this hole could have gotten nightmarish quick for him there, but
Agreed.
little sigh of relief. Still got a lot of work left, though.
Blake throwing 2, hoping to get to the top of the hill. That's going to be a tough task from this far back.
Yeah, from there it's a big forehand, effectively probably about a 400-footer to get up to the top, but he does a good job, gets near that lone tree over there, and he's going to have definitely a solid chance at birdie. Not a gimme.
Let's see how far Luke can push this one. Throwing 2.
Yeah, it says only 470 to the pin, you guys, but the way this second shot plays, the way the tree's shaped, the way that hill and the angle really pinch you, as you can see how high and steep Luke has to throw, you can't throw it very far on this second shot.
Yeah, they're going like 250 maybe.
Yeah.
Kiefer throwing 4 now.
He's going to have to hug this close to that bush and put it high, and he's a little too low there, not going to be able to make the progress.
Yeah. Dickerson threw a butte from the same position yesterday.
Chris is going to be able to get aggressive and maybe throw a big roller, and this could be kind of one of those dangerous bids. He's almost in a spot to go for eagle.
It's that same disc he threw the flex with yesterday,
Ooh,
though.
he's just throwing a smart play here, knowing that if he is on top of the hill, birdie's almost guaranteed.
Here's where Kiefer got with his 4th, throwing 5.
Standstill driver shot out of this bush and shows some explosion on the shot, but
Caught a little bit, didn't he?
yeah.
So probably an up and down 7 coming his way. I think so. Swing it over to Poland.
Blake having to mitigate that uphill run up and
Ooh.
show some good arm speed, though, just to be able to whip that thing up there and parks it. That is impressive.
That was 370 something up the hill.
Yeah.
Big shot. Here's Luke.
Luke's trying to go with the high stall shot with his stall, and he catches stuff, and he's almost dunks another one with that disc. That was impressive.
That really was. Dickerson next. And he really just has this hole on lock, doesn't he?
He picked that hole apart, and like I said in the last round, if you have never seen Chris Dickerson surgically attack some of these par 4s and 5s with his disc selection, his speed selection, it's really impressive to watch, and some high-level stuff.
Could not agree more. There is a tap in from Luke. Nice birdie. Dickerson the same.
Yeah, birdie's a great pickup here. It's one of the hardest holes on the course. So yesterday it played as the hardest. Today I believe it was the 4th or 5th. But
There's the unfortunate 7 for Kiefer and another birdie on the card. This one from Poland. Three birdies there.
yeah, Blake not looking to be shy at all, and probably starting to feel a little bit of confidence. You know what? I'm here playing with Chris Dickerson and Luke and
He's
Kevin
hanging.
and all these touring guys, and I'm right here.
Love to see it. After 6 holes, what do we got?
Looks like we
Ezra.
got
Fish with a 5.
Yeah, everyone's kind of staying in their spots on their cards, but you can see Fish and Evan Smith having some solid rounds so far.
Looking at 7.
Here we got a par 5. This one's 970 feet. You're going to want to throw it really straight off the tee, clear these 2 ditches here and onto this hillside. If you can do that, you're looking at almost a guaranteed birdie, if you're good enough to throw that shot at least. Clearing this second ditch, you're going to have out of bounds on either side. It opens up on the left, but that out of bounds stays tight up on the right. A good second shot's going to get right around the start of this tree line on the left. A great second shot will penetrate into this gap and give you a long putt, a possible eagle. Runaway green right here creates a little bit of trouble for those long bids, and be wary, you might be circle's edge if you try to get a little cute here.
Chris with the tee. Looks slow.
Yeah, I think he's throwing that same fairway he was reaching on a lot yesterday, and
Ooh.
overplays the hyzer a bit here. We do have that left to right cross that he's looking to play off, but he just overcompensated a touch.
Luke, he is pulling a Gould out of the bag.
That's going to be one of their straighter, newer distance drivers, so he's looking to bite off a good chunk on this one and definitely get to the
Ooh.
top of that hill, but he hangs it a bit wide, catches some of the leafage, and
He is down in that ditch. Let's see if Poland can keep it up top.
rips this one over, and it's fighting out, but he's going to be trapped on the right side. We'll see if he's got any of those trees at his swing.
Kiefer. Let's see how he bounces back off the hockey stick.
Playing flat with that adder again, and that one's fighting out the whole way. Pretty stable disc selection there, and that's a powerful way to get to a dead straight 390 shot.
Best of the bunch. Here is Dickerson pitching out from that ditch on the left-hand side, throwing a little forehand roller, getting to a good spot, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be up on top of the hill where he doesn't have too much of an uphill run-up, if any, and he's going to be able to easily take par, maybe get aggressive for birdie here.
And here's where Luke's drive kicked to. Also kind of down in that ditch, a little closer though, favorable position.
Yeah, from there, you don't want to get even on that downslope towards that second set of ditches, because then the footing gets a little awkward. You'd rather just sacrifice that distance, stay up on top where you know it's flat.
Poland needed just a couple more feet to make this drive great.
Yeah, if he's just clear of that tree in front of him, he's attacking across that second ditch and probably gonna get a reward for it. But instead, just gotta play it smart and maybe make an amazing third shot.
We should see an attacking shot here from Kiefer, throwing 2.
Oh, a little flat here out of the hand. He's hoping this one fades, and oh, that's unfortunate. If he beats that tree, he's in bounds, but he's yeah, that one's going to be a little frustrating. After a tough last hole, we'll see how Kevin can keep his head in the game after this one.
A chance to save par. He's going to be throwing 4 from the good side of the ditch. Dickerson, his third.
Chris testing that right side. He really wants to give himself a close look here, and
He's circled 2.
yeah, he's going to have I think a pretty easy opportunity to lay up for that birdie, which I'm sure he's going to take, but some lesser minds would be tempted for that eagle.
Blake with his third swing. That's easy up and down. 5 from there.
Yeah, center cut from that one.
Samson also throwing 3. Going recoil.
Okay, so he's looking to play a pretty overstable shot here. I know he got this recoil from Albert Tom, and these ones are pretty beefy. I think he might have seasoned this one a little bit, but he knows he can hammer this one and not worry about that OB line to the right.
Beautifully thrown. Now Kiefer throwing 4.
He's got that pink putter in his hands again, looking to correct off the only one bad shot we've seen out of that disc so far.
Needs to get down. Edge of circle.
That putting acumen's going to be on display in that putt right there. Let's see if he can clean up and settle in and get going here for the end of the front nine.
Maybe that was a half go from Dickerson.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he wanted to put it up high enough to have a chance, but he definitely gave it only enough spin to get to the basket.
Samson. Oh, air ball there. A little meat on the comeback. Here's Kiefer for the save.
Kevin gets it up high and stays in the back of the bucket there. It's a good cleanup for par from Kevin. He's a little upset after a perfect drive, I'm sure, but easier to keep the train on the rails, if you will, after that versus taking another bogey.
Luke coming back.
Luke, much like myself, likes to use that chalk a lot, and you'll often see those white handprints all over his shorts. And, you know, when you get that little bead of sweat, you got to get rid of it. You want that putter to slip right out of the hand.
Brian was loving the slow-mo chalk explosions,
Oh,
when he throws. It looks
they're
super
always
cool.
fun, and some of the late fall sun we've been getting at the end of these rounds, it just creates some amazing views.
Love the golden hour out here. There's Poland putting in the 5. Dickerson putting in his version of par. Looks like 4s all around. Who gets the slow-mo? Blake. They have beautiful flowers planted out here just randomly.
Yeah, you got all the touches on this track, you guys. If you ever have a chance, I really recommend coming out here to play.
3 courses.
Yeah, some for everybody.
You can make a weekend out of it.
No doubt.
It'd be amazing. Hole 8. What a par 3 this is.
Yeah, this is going to be the most challenging par 3 we've seen yet. Arguably the most on the track. It's 505 feet down the hill. That tree that just went out of our frame on the right was the one that you want to fade just inside of, and the one that you can see off the tee and kind of use as your aim point. Looking to hit a flat fairway driver, maybe a super long mid-range for most of the players at this level, and let it go straight for pretty much the entire flight until it starts slowing down and have that little fade kick in.
Dickerson looking nice.
Yeah, this is great. Gentle skip. Looks like maybe he threw it mid-range there, I'd say, the way that one skipped. And yeah, he makes a good correction.
Luke, he's going stall. What's that?
Stall is going to be an overstable fairway driver, so this thing he must have seasoned in pretty good, and he's looking to hit it maybe a little flatter than that, but that had enough speed. That thing got way down there and threatened the basket.
He's 5 feet long over there.
Yeah, that's a sweet shot, and you're always happy to not have to have a putt on this hole.
Let's see if Poland can follow that. He cannot. And it does it drops off over there pretty nastily.
Yeah, anything that doesn't get past that first half of the fairway on this hole, bogey is almost imminent without throwing some hero shots or making a extremely good putt. And
Kiefer faded
Kevin's in the
very
same area.
early. Yeah. Here's Poland.
Yeah, 310, and it's going to be a steep anhyzer that has to hold so far left. It's almost undoable from there.
Just, an impossible shape, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He will get up and down from there, likely for 4. Let's see if Kiefer can save the 3. Also unlikely.
You have to lay down maybe some kind of forehand roller like Kevin just goes to, and he just puts it too straight out of his hand. And yeah, it's a hard spot to be.
It's a little too much tilt on that one. Goes left early, ends up here, throws 3. Still not a guaranteed up and down.
Gosh. He has to drop it in front of him on the forehand roller, and that was a sweet shot by Kevin.
Yeah, really nice touch.
Wow, well done.
Yeah.
It's a tough bogey, but he stopped the bleeding there. It could have been a lot worse.
I feel like you'd see it. There's probably a decent amount of 4s on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the
no
field.
doubt.
Blake's will likely grab a 4 as well. Dickerson with an eye at 2. Oh, it looked like it just coasted on him.
Yeah, a little high left, but came out clean. And
look at him check the wind there.
Yeah, he felt it lift up out of his hand there.
There is a bogey save and a good one from Kiefer.
Pretty guarded from the trees down in there, but you're down in a ditch, and it kind of is swirling through there and lifting back up sometimes.
Dickerson coming back for par.
Luke and Chris battling pretty good here, so every stroke matters right now, and you can tell Chris had a little extra want in his step walking to that comebacker.
What's your mental putting routine, Connor?
For me, I like to kind of step one pace back and look at it, envision my putt, take a breath, Then I'll step up. I've got a kind of little mantra I'll say in my head. I'll just say, breathe, eyes, follow through, and use that kind of 1, 2, 3 as I breathe, come down, and breathe, exhale on the way up. And that's kind of the way I like to attack it.
Nice, man. Routine's so important.
It is.
Look at this drive from Samson.
Yeah, that's a bonus birdie, we'll say, and Luke just made that one look simple.
That's got to be CTP for the weekend.
Yeah, definitely one of them. Let's see if we get that chalk puff here.
Oh,
Boom.
you know it.
There it is.
Love it.
If you've never tried chalk before and you sometimes have grip issues, whether you think you have too much grip or not enough, it could help you. So I think anything is useful on the course, and it's a tool that you see a lot of the pros grabbing.
Yeah. Good at checking the wind as well now.
Yeah, it is. Gannon Burr's proven that. And here we are with a par 4 that plays significantly up the hill. That tree that just went out of the frame on the right is a good aim point that you kind of want to beat and get above that, maybe a little bit to the left. Another one of these par 4s where if you can get up high enough to have vision of the basket, it's a lot easier to approach. That tree with the little baby tree sitting in front of it there that we saw on the left there is one that a lot of people use for an aim point coming into the basket, but it will deceive you. It's 50 feet, not circle's edge like it might seem.
This is a lots out of Luke.
Nice glidey fairway driver, just trying to put it on the angle and not have a driver kind of pull out too fast on the uphill shot.
That's up there.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Dickerson.
Chris also going fairway driver. These guys showing they got the pace to do whatever they need up the hill. They just want to use a disc that's going to hold for them.
Chris, middle of the fairway.
Yeah, it's a little short from there, but Chris has a really good array of rollers and backhand flex shots that he'll be able to attack from there.
Poland. Not quite as bad as Dickerson's yesterday. He's still in the fairway, but very short. Kiefer.
Yeah, par is going to be take 2 good shots and a main putt from there, but see if he can manage.
Nice swing here from Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, a little inside, but honestly, that's a great spot to be. His forehand has been pretty smooth all day, and he'll probably give himself a putt from that one.
Poland still a ton of hill to make up. Goes
Is
to...
he trying to go forehand roller? It's hard to tell with how uphill that is, but
Yeah.
I think he might have been trying to lay that one down.
Chris went roller from about this spot yesterday. See if he makes the correction. Didn't put enough turn on it. It says vortex, I believe.
Chris, one of the best backhand roller players on the planet, and
Look
even
at
that
this.
shot right there pretty much proves to you guys he might be 20 feet, but that's an amazing touch.
What a gem. There's so much angle and hill to worry about with a roller. You know, to get the angle
just,
perfect
just
like
to
that.
calculate that is just like, and just to have the confidence to throw that is really a testament to his skill set.
Blake's third into the green, hopefully. He's in that inside the circle, was that?
Yeah, that patch is just inside the circle.
Nice.
You should have a pretty manageable putt.
Kiefer throwing 2.
Kevin looks like he's throwing.
Ooh.
Yeah, he catches that one tree that you're kind of lining up, but he's got to jump putt and see if he can put the want on it.
Samson had a great drive. Can he take advantage?
Luke going back to that cax. And yeah, he throws that one real well.
Kiefer out in circle 2.
Gonna have to put a little Anheuser on this one. He's got a right to left wind. And he nails it. That's a great look from Kevin.
That's a big drop off behind as well.
That is. You miss that and don't catch much, and another one of those putts that's circle's edge at best.
Much like that huge make on hole 1
Yeah.
from Kevin. Poland. Dead center.
There you go, Blake. A little slow stretch in the round, but that's a good putt right there to get him going into the back nine.
Mm-hmm. Dickerson coming up the hill for his birdie.
Yeah, what a sick roller from Chris to get to there. And Luke throwing another dart, and he's right there matching Chris every step of the way.
Look at these scorecards from these two. Clean.
Yeah, this is fun to
Tons
watch.
of birdies. Love it. Kiefer. Just
Kevin
like,
having to force it over right at that tree, out of the hand. That angle looks like you can't get there, and he knows it.
oh,
Put the
my
finger up, let him know.
Love to see it. And your scores after 9. Evan Smith bubbling up here with a 6 down through that first 9 holes. Solid.
Yeah, you got Evan, Andrew Fish, and Matt all playing pretty hot here on the front, as well as Luke and Chris as they're battling up top. Luke is stride for stride matching Chris and still maintains the lead in this event.
That was a sweet part 1. We'll catch you guys in part 2. Thanks for watching.